Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ12. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ12 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
You're listening to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast, the show that proves no one stumbles upon success ever. With your host, Lou Need. Every Mondays and Thursdays, we deliver cold hard evidence behind the power of a robust morning routine. Get ready to be transformed by the renewal of your mind.
Hello, morning enthusiasts. Welcome to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast. My name is Dr. Lou Need, and today I have the honor of introducing a very special guest to the show, Feras Alhlou. Now, Feras is an accomplished author, speaker, entrepreneur with a wealth of experience in the startup world. His journey is marked by notable achievements, including authoring acclaimed publications such as Google Analytics Breakdown from Zero to Business Impact, which, by the way, received a glowing review. Like, this book really deserved 10 out of 5 stars. So it's an honor to have him here because he has the background that our listeners are seeking for. He has sold his web and marketing analytics consultancy and now a global media company. I mean, the experience is vast, and I'm so excited to have him on board. So with no further ado, Feras, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Looney. Appreciate it. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Absolutely. I'm so thrilled to have you. Let's talk about what got you started, your journey. How did it all lead to where you are now?
Yeah, it started, unfortunately, with a very dramatic layoff. My whole journey into entrepreneurship. I was a VP at a tech company, high-tech company here in Silicon Valley. And one day you get the note that you are no longer needed. So that was tough, being a VP at a cutting-edge company. We raised millions and millions of dollars, and overnight you find yourself unemployed. So that was really hard. Hard at the personal level, emotionally, psychologically, mentally. What do my friends think of me? Why me? What happened? What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? Luckily, I I still have an amazing wife. Was very supportive.
Yeah.
Took me a couple of days to kind of bounce back. Said, you know what? I have a young family to support. What happened. Let me learn from it. And then started to knock on doors, but not get a job interview for 6-7 weeks. Then a friend of mine was thinking of starting a business. So he and I got together, put our resources together, and kicked off our very first business. And that's how I got into entrepreneurship.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a good way to start because you have all these skill sets that you've acquired from working for a 9-to-5 or a big corporation. And now you'll be able to utilize it to start your own. Why not?
Exactly. Yeah. And, we worked, I think when I speak with entrepreneurs, I always say, you're not starting from scratch. The business might be new. The new business might be something that you haven't done before, but you have skills. You have hard skills, whatever technical area you're in. You have soft skills, listening, pitching, being able to network. And then you also have your network. So I think we all have a lot of resources. We have a lot of skills, but it's hard. We get used to the 9-to-5. So it's hard for a lot of people to start their own business.
Yeah, and that's really what inspired you to take the leap, take the faith. Having lost your position, but you do a lot of coaching, a lot of guiding. You guided a lot of entrepreneurs to start their own business ventures, but you weren't doing that when you were working for a company, right? You were more analytical background.
Yeah. I mean, in business, as you know, you pivot and you turn and things, sometimes you pivot, you plan to pivot, and sometimes life hits you like a ton of bricks. And then you have to do things you were not prepared to do. That's just part of whether you work in a company today or whether you have your own business. Life is not, you can bring peace and you can you can be calm, you can be collected, and you can be very comfortable with what you have. But a lot of times life throws things at us that we did not expect.
Yeah.
So I think Bruce Lee, because I'm into martial arts, what he said, I don't pray for an easy life. I pray for the strength to deal with a difficult life, with challenges. So you start your own business, it's going to be hard to sell. It's going to be hard to market. It's going to be hard to deliver to the clients. But these are all muscles you have to grow. And same thing if you're in a career in a company to get the next promotion, to get that raise, it does require a lot of hard work, a lot of learning from others, listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
That's what I think, the road to success, I think, is hard, is difficult. There are a lot of challenges. I think a lot of us these days, we go on YouTube. If you just go on YouTube and search for millionaire or like millions, you see a lot of these, what I call the get rich quick schemes out there. This is not reality. This is not life. There are no shortcuts. You work hard, you learn, and then you're most likely to do better. No one can guarantee success, but if you follow the advice of those who have been to where you want to go, and you work hard, you're more likely to succeed than not.
Yeah, and the challenges are not so terrible because they're all lessons, they're stepping stones, right? I love to say the contrast is not so bad because then it helps you define more what is it you need to do, what you have to do to get better, to improve. Just like you, I love quote, and Jim Rohn says, when you grow, your business grow. And so you have to go through some challenges to grow as a person so you can scale up.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was Phil Knight, the founder of Nike, who said, life is about growth. You grow or you die. I mean, it's more dramatic, but whatever it is, if you don't reinvent yourself, whether you are a fresh graduate or whether you are someone who is maybe they're in mid-career or someone who has now gone through their first mountain and they want to get on their second mountain, their second or maybe third career, since we're all living longer and we're not retiring as early as maybe we want. They're always, how do I reinvent myself? How do I learn new skills? Maybe the industry I was in is on a downturn. Okay. That's something I can't control. Are there transferable skills I can take with me to maybe a booming industry, something get into? I always mention this. The aging, we have an aging population, and then healthcare, home care, medical home care is one of the number one growth sectors. So if you have a caring personality and you like services and working with people, maybe you can start a business there, or maybe you can work in that industry. So always reinvent yourself, learn skills, learn from others, and then just don't feel like you're stuck.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Now let's shift over because you did franchises. Yeah, you did franchise and you actually coach people to start their own franchise. Let's talk about how the strategies you use to achieve your success and to even get people to get the similar success you attained.
Yeah, so that's one of the pivots. I never thought I'd be into franchising, and it was professional services. And you buy the license, you get the training from the franchisor, and you get all the templates and the checklist and the system that a franchisor has. But you still have to hustle. You still have to go out and find customers. You still have to go and close deals. You are aided by the systems and structures and the finance, franchising fee that you paid for and the support you get from the home office. But I'm telling you, Doctor, it was a big struggle for us. Like because I didn't have practical experience in selling at the time. We were selling web design and online marketing services. I didn't know. So it was a big struggle. And I think the inflection point, the time where I realized that, there are some amazing franchisees who have been there in that system longer than I have. So if I can humble myself and listen to them, reach out to them, ask for help, maybe pay them for a little bit of help, or watch the videos they're producing and learn how they've set up their systems and their businesses and became top earners in that franchising system. That when I started to do that, that was like, it cut down the sales cycle, the delivery cycle, the money we're spending to get leads. It was a significant thing in that journey. And then later, with a lot of hard work and some luck and the help of others, we became a top earner for a number of months. And we were in the top 20 or top 25 for years. But it all started with, I think, seeking the advice. Don't be shy, don't be arrogant, ego out there. But go out and seek help from those who have been to where you want to go. I think that's one of the principles we have at Startup with Feras is learn, do, and then seek advice, seek help from others who've been to where you want to go.
I love the way you said that, for where you want to go, right? It's crucial. And what you tapped into, Feras, is the fact that you can cut down 30 years of experience by seeking coaching, by seeking advisors, by seeking mentors. You learn from their 30 years of experience that it can take you 1 to 2 years. You can cut down on, you said, the sales process, the amount of money it takes you to get leads, only because you're learning from them. They've gone through the path, and that is crucial in entrepreneurship. And as you teach the people you work with, we're learning as entrepreneurs. Like, that's the best and fastest way to get to where you want to go.
Absolutely. And, I joke and I say, in our time, 20 years ago, when I started my first business, we did not have a lot of resources. YouTube wasn't a big thing at the time. There weren't a lot of books on some of the topics. So that was our challenge for our generation of founders. I think for the new generation of founders, people who are now wanting to pivot and start their own business, or someone who just finished college and they want to do something different, maybe build their own business. Now I think it's the opposite. There's so many resources. It's intimidating. It's overwhelming. Where do I go? Like, what's the first step? So that's why I emphasize this principle of there's just a lot of good stuff out there online. But there's also just a lot of nonsense, a lot of the again, get rich quick stuff out there. So look for people who know you, maybe people who care about you, and they have the domain knowledge in what you're seeking. So, and I think it was Vinod Khalsa. He's one of the co-founders of Sun Microsystems here in Silicon Valley. Now, a $7.2 billion, investor, very established figure here in Silicon Valley. And he said he's talking to founders who have board members, who have investors. He says the number one, the most difficult decision you make as a founder is to know whom to ask for that advice that you need. And he says a lot of people, these board members and the investors, they might be able to help, but they might not know your challenge. They might not know that you have whatever the case might be. So I think spending a little bit of time making sure you vet the advisor you want to speak with, make sure they have either technical domain expertise, or maybe they know what founders like you. So that's really important.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. It's good to see that it works. You used it, and now you're actually giving it back. You're helping entrepreneurs. Give us one piece that you really value about helping entrepreneurs start their own ventures. Like, what do you love so much about this?
When I see them not repeating the mistakes I made. So they can make their own mistakes, but like, just a simple example. I see a lot of business owners. They've been in business for a long time, 3, 4, 5 years, and they're doing okay now. Maybe not super profitable, but the business is standing on its own feet and they're doing okay. They're still doing their own accounting. They're still doing their own invoices. They're still trying to collect money from dealing with clients. They're still trying to figure out before tax season. They have to shut down for a week, trying to figure out all the proper categorization and finding the invoices and the receipts and all that. Don't do that. I did it. It really slowed down our growth for maybe a year by just listening to an advisor that I took out to lunch and I picked their brain. They said, you can get a fractional bookkeeper, a fractional CFO. That was sort of a new topic, maybe 10, 12 years ago. And they can come in, these fractional people can come in and take all the stuff that, as a founder about the contracts and the invoices and all in your head that's taking space, and outsource the headache, outsource the hassle to someone else who's good at it, better at it than you. And then you have the mental space, and I read this on your website, to work on the business, not in the business, to find ways to establish new relationships, to penetrate the next tier of customers. All of that need your time and energy as a founder or as a manager or as a VP of sales or as a VP of marketing. You have those. That's one of the mistakes I made in terms of holding on to accounting for just too long. At one point, I still want to see the reports. I want to see the P&L. I want to see the balance sheet. I want to do a monthly review of things. But the day-to-day, that's something you can outsource, so you can then scale and grow the business.
Yeah, and I agree. A lot of startups who don't have co-founders, they try to fill in the co-founder role, but the fractional CEO could do just as well, or somebody temporarily could come in to offload and kind of take care of that problem, and then you can focus on your genius zone, focus on growing. And I have to say, I find that a lot with marketing. And you tell me if that's the consensus out there, where CEOs, founders are just so consumed with the marketing piece, and that's not their thing, but it has to be done to drive sales, for brand awareness. And that whole thing just kind of eats away at their time and their brain power so fast.
Yeah. And again, depending on what stat you look at, but anywhere 60 to 70% of new business owners, they don't have a sales background. They probably avoided, when they worked in a company, they avoided sales and marketing like the plague. This is the dark side. Sales is a dirty word. Marketing is a dirty word. If you want to start your own business, there's no escape. You got to be able to sell. Now, the good thing is, most people, the vast majority of people, were not born as salespeople or as marketers. You can learn this stuff. If I learned it way back then on CDs, listening to CDs and taking notes and practicing and making a fool out of myself many, many times till I figured it out, then I think everyone else can learn it. So yeah, marketing, if you're a good HR consultant, if you're an amazing IT consultant, if you have an amazing tree trimming service, whatever the case, whatever services you have or maybe product you have, these other aspects of the business, sales, marketing, HR, hiring, these things you have to learn, or get someone, a contractor, a consultant, an advisor, someone who can help you with this. This way you can focus on, again, the things that you're great at and grow the business, while you get help for things that maybe not strategic and also maybe you're not good at. And it's tough. Initially, you might not have the budget to do it, but you got to get the help one way or another. Yeah. This way you can really expedite that learning curve in areas where you're just not strong at.
Absolutely. Did you use Zig Ziglar? Zig Ziglar did a lot of good
I remember attending. So I did attend one of his actually a live event, and he was. I forgot how old at the time he was. I think he was 80. He said, and how he walks the stage. So much energy, right? And he said,
like 5 miles a day before his workshops.
He says, I haven't reached my peak. He said, you have to reach your peak. He said, I'm 80. This is maybe 10 years ago. I don't know where he's at now, but he said, I'm 80 years old and I haven't reached my peak. So very, very motivational, very, very inspiring. And I did listen to CDs by a gentleman of the name Tom Hopkins. I think he wrote, it was The Art of Mastering Real Estate Sales. We were not in real estate, but my co-founder had this CD set because he was thinking to get into real estate, and we were so cheap, we didn't have the money. So I said, I'll listen to those CDs and then take out the real estate references. But I took a whole lot of notes, copious notes from those CDs, and I practiced those in the next pitch and the next pitch, and then it doesn't call them pitch, but yeah, that's how I learned. And I think people just need to kind of put some of the reps in for sales and marketing and seek the help of someone who maybe can guide you, and you'll figure it out.
Great. Well put. Yeah. Well put. Let's talk about your morning routine. How do you get up, dress up, and show up to do what you do, to work with the entrepreneurs that you do?
Yeah, I knew you were going to ask, given the name of your show.
Yeah.
So I tried to follow natural systems, and I love the outdoors, and so I follow for the morning, like the circadian rhythm. So I get up about an hour or so before sunrise, It's harder in the summer. So I do have to take a little nap early in the morning, but in the winter it's beautiful. Go to bed, get your, whatever it is for me, 7 hours is good. Get up in the morning, no phone, no electronics for at least 1 hour. Do whatever spiritual practice, whatever, mindfulness practice you do. I think it's important. Just kind of get yourself solid and grounded. And then I just hit work really hard. I don't have I use the calendar religiously, so I know what's happening for the rest of the day. I block time for deep work, writing an article. We do a lot of content publishing here, so whether I'm working on a script or maybe I need to finish some notes from a sales call yesterday, whatever the case might be. But I do follow the calendar, my calendar religiously, and I find time for this sort of deep work. And then you just gotta you gotta work hard and knock out emails and stuff. There's no escape. But yeah, so that's how I start the day.
Yeah, I like it. So you wake up before the sun rises, and probably before the rest of the world wakes up too. So you have quiet time. But you say you go outdoors. What are some of the things you do to stimulate your mind to prepare you so you show up ready for the day, for those meetings, for the calendar events?
Yeah, I think it's important for me. I remember Stephen Covey, his book, the late Stephen Covey, his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. One of, I think, the most amazing books, a classic in my mind. You got to take care of yourself. You got to emotionally, relationship wise, physically, intellectually. So that's important. So in terms of, I listen to audiobooks, relationships, we've been married. I'm fortunate, have been married for 36 years, with 3 adult children now. So that's important, being there for the family. The family's there for me. And, in a new venture, I'm on my 7th venture now. So like, there are a lot of new things that I haven't figured out yet. I know how to scale, how to build a business, but some specific technical areas in how to figure out crack the YouTube nut. That's something that we're still working hard on. So I think it's important it's work. My motto is work hard, play hard. So I think for the folks out there who are starting to either, I think, move up in their career and get a promotion and get bonus and do things they like and love, and also for business owners, I think there's no escape. You have to, I think, have less of leisure time, less Netflix, maybe judging there a little bit. But there's only 24 hours a day. So you got to get a good number of hours, to sleep, whatever works for you. And then you got to take care of your relationships. Sometimes some of those relationships might suffer because you're working so hard. So you have to there are trade-offs there in life. You have to, I always say, you have to balance, you have to manage the imbalance. It's hard. It's hard to grow a business, or I think get promotions and get, up the corporate ladder. If you're just working 8 hours a day, I don't think you're just competing with a lot of other things out there. But it does not mean at the same time work really hard, but do make time for the important things in your life. And those are typically to do with relationships and also for your spiritual and physical well-being.
Of course, I love that you said manage the imbalance, because that's exactly what it is. It is focusing on something and prioritizing, because you can't juggle 5 balls in the air, 5 life activities in the air. One of them has to be put down for a little bit so you can be present for the others. So I agree with you. It is an imbalance, but it is manageable.
Yeah. And, at times, because I used to say, once we've sort of tasted success in having our own businesses after the second or third business, I used to go around and say, oh, start your own business is the best thing. But then now I've sort of changed my position on it. I say, having your own business is not for everyone. Getting a promotion and becoming a VP is not for everyone. It's not to put people down, but you have to look at your circumstances, because if you have aging parents, if you have young children, if you have a health condition, if you have to do 2 or 3 jobs to just make it, those might not be the best time for you to think of having your own business, or maybe you're not ready for that next promotion. But there are, I think, seasons, there are phases in our lives where we have the time, we have the bandwidth, we have the mental space to do something. So instead of that 2-week vacation, maybe cut it down to a 2-day vacation. Maybe instead of, again, watching a whole lot of TV, cut it down to maybe a couple hours, on the weekend, and then find whatever works for you. Find time to put into something meaningful, whether it's starting your own business, volunteering, whatever makes sense for you. But to do something worthwhile in life, I think it requires a lot of hard work. No ways around it.
Mm-hmm. And this is from the man himself who's had tremendous success in many different platforms, different ways as well. So tell us, Feras, how can we connect with you? Where can we find you?
Yeah, thank you so much. So we have startupwithferas.com, Feras spelled Feras, like my first name. That's where we have a daily newsletter and we publish articles on entrepreneurship and help business owners start a business or grow and scale their businesses to 7 and 8 figures. We also have a YouTube channel at Startup with Feras as well, where we publish videos regularly on again, all things entrepreneurship related. And we do have a weekly live stream every Wednesday where we talk about a topic and then answer questions that come to us from the community. No charge. All that is available to the folks out there wanting to either start a business or overcome the challenges that they're facing now that they've started their business.
Either way, connect with you because you've got the experience and you've got the tool to help start up a business or even grow the business.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us today. It's been such an honor and talking with you. Leave us with one of your favorite quotes.
Ralph Waldo Emerson, he said, life is not just about being happy or to be happy. It is about being honorable, being compassionate, and being useful. So I'm capitalist at heart. I work hard. I want to make the next million just like everyone else out there. At the same time, I want to build companies with an amazing culture. I want to work with amazing people. I want to support these people. When our business makes it big, I want to share, the proceeds of maybe an investment or maybe those, maybe if the company sold like we've done in the past. So it's not all about making money. It's not all about just I'm being happy. It's me, I, and myself. I think be of service to others, help others, even if you're struggling yourself. I think there are many people out there who are probably struggling more than you are. So I think once you help others, life and the universe has just its own ways of coming back and helping you out when you're stuck. So yes, work hard and make a lot of money and help others and be of service to others. And yeah, that would be my my thought on that.
And be useful. I love that.
Yeah.
Well said, Feras. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure having you on today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. And I appreciate all the great content that you put out there.
Thank you.
All right, morning enthusiasts, that's it for today's show. Thank you for tuning in. If you love the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast, we'd love to hear from you. So go ahead and subscribe, rate, and give a review on iTunes or Google Play. While you're at it, tell a friend about the show. Be sure to visit bestmorningroutineever.com and our Facebook group to join the conversation, access the show notes, and discover our fantastic free bonus content. Until next time.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ12. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ12 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.